Time to predict once again the Premier League fixtures, and we are starting with Chelsea and Fulham. Now, I expect Fulham to put up a bit more of a fight than West Ham did, because West Ham are crap, even though they've made a good signing. That is it Fernandes from Southampton? 40-odd million, I think they've paid. I think that's not a bad signing, and they do need midfielders. I feel like to play under Potten's way, they needed to revamp the whole midfield, and they didn't. They've gone for a more Moisey. They kept the Moisey midfield when they had to go with a more passing and expansive midfield, and I think Fernandes will provide that. But either way, we're talking about Chelsea and Fulham. Sorry, got sidetracked. Chelsea and Fulham. I'm going to go... It's difficult, isn't it? I feel like Fulham will give them a good game, but I feel like Chelsea should win. So for that, I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. 2-1 Chelsea. I'm going to go with João Pedro to score again. I'm going to go with Cucurella to score, just like last week. I think I'm going to go with the same goal scorers. And I'm going to go with Raul Jimenez to get a goal for Fulham. 2-1. It could be like 2-all though, or 1-all. It really could, but we'll go with that. Why not? Next up, we'll go with Wolves versus Everton. Now, I think this is actually a really, really interesting one, because Everton were obviously rubbish against Leeds. Then they had a great win against Brighton at home. But was it just because they're at home? They're away at Wolves this time, another team that are struggling. And if they lose Strand Larsen before that game, it could be big trouble. But as it stands, I think he's still a member of the Wolves squad. I'm going to go 1-all. I'm going to go with Strand Larsen if he's playing. And I'm going to go with Jack Grealish. 1-all. Nice and easy. Sunderland versus Brentford next. And you know what? Sunderland... They let me down last week against Burnley. They really did. I expected them to kick on after their really impressive win over West Ham. Okay, we found out that West Ham were a bit crap. I expect them to kick on, get another win against Burnley, 6 points out of 6, really boost their chances of survival throughout the season. And they just lost 2-0. They lost 2-0. So Sunderland versus Brentford, I mean, they're two relegation candidates in my opinion. Brentford with a good win against Aston Villa though. You know, they've swapped weeks. Brentford were crap first week, then got a nice win against Villa second week. Sunderland, great first week. Lost 2-0 to Burnley on the second week. You know, we've had mixed starts. But this time at home, I'm going to go Sunderland to win. I'm going to go with... what do I reckon? 2-1. 2-1 Sunderland. And I just want to check who I want to pick as the scorers again. I'm going to go with... Adingra and Diarra to score. Adingra and Diarra to score for Sunderland, and Igor Thiago for Brentford. That's what I'll go with. Spurs versus Bournemouth. I think it's just a formality that Spurs are going to win this one. I think Xavi Simons is a great signing for them, by the way. I know they missed out on Eze, but I think Simons is just as good in my opinion, and he's a lot younger. So I think that's a fantastic deal for them. I feel like they're going to go at least 4 for 4 in terms of the Premier League, like 4 wins out of 4. So I'm going to go with them to win this match, and I'm going to go 2-0. No, 3-1. I'm going to go 3-1 actually. 3-1. And who do I reckon is going to score? I'm not sure if Xavi Simons can play. I feel like he should be able to. If he can, we'll give him a goal just for the fun of it. We'll go for him to score. I'll go with Richarlison to score, and I'll go for Kudus. Kudus for Richarlison and Xavi Simons, and I'll just go for Semenyo to score a ball. Keep it simple. It probably won't. Actually, no, Tavernier to score. Why not? Someone different. Let's be different this week. Up next, Manchester United versus Burnley, and I think United have to win this one. They have to at Old Trafford. If they don't, Amorim will hand his resignation in straight after the match. I feel like he will, and they'll start again after the transfer window's ended. And the international break, they'll just have to start again with a new manager. Jose Mourinho's back available, and so is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 2 of their former managers are actually been, sacked by their clubs, both in Turkey, I think. Besiktas and Fenerbahce, right? Fenerbahce was definitely Jose. I feel like was Ole at Besiktas? I'm not sure. I feel like they were both in Turkey. I'm not sure though. But hey, both available. But no, I think it'll be 2-0 win. I think Sesko will finally get his goal. How did he miss that sitter at the end of the match against Grimsby? How did he miss it? You're 3 yards out, lad. Come on. But Sesko to finally score, and I'll go for Cunha to get the other one. yeah, Cunha's quality. I know he missed that penalty, but he's definitely their best player now. Because Bruno Fernandes he's not suited for that position. He needs to be more attacking. Like some after the Arsenal game, I can't remember if it was Sky or someone else. They put up like a heat map of Bruno Fernandes, saying like, "Oh, look how incredible Fernandes was. He's been everywhere. His job isn't to be everywhere. His job is to be in the middle, protecting the back line, starting attacks. He's not supposed to be in the corner flags chasing people down. It's not what he's supposed to be doing." So yeah, I feel like Cunha's been the one, and I feel like he'll finally get his goal. Leeds United versus Newcastle is the half-5 game, and I'm going to go with Newcastle to bounce back. They've signed Voltamade, and I think it'll be a good signing for him. I've seen some Newcastle fans claiming he's better than Isak, which is just not true. He's a decent player. £8 million. I feel like that's just a product of the striker market. He's a good striker. I think he'll do all right. I think he'll be a 15-goal a season striker probably. But I feel like they will win, and I feel like he will score. And I'll go 2-0 Newcastle, Voltamade, and I'll go Dan Burn from a corner. Why not? On to Sunday, we have Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. Sorry, I had to make sure that was right, because I got two fixtures stuck in my head there wrong. Nottingham Forest versus West Ham. I'm going to go... It's a difficult one, really, isn't it? I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to go 1-1 for this one. I feel like West Ham have to put in some kind of performance. As I said, they made that good signing for Fernandes. I'm going to go with Jared Bowen and Morgan Gibbs-White to score. 1-1, point apiece. Yeah, I don't mind that. I'm happy with that. Brighton versus Manchester City is next. And after City's disappointing result against Spurs, who I did say are a bogey team. I mean, I got this 2 for Spurs right. I just happened to say 3 for Man City. So, yeah, we were half right. We got half the scoreline right there. But yeah, I think they'll come back, and I think it'll be a Manchester City win. I think it'll be 2-0 City. I'm going to go with Haaland and Mamouche both to score. And yeah, I think it'll be a comfortable game for them. I don't think Brighton will cause too many problems. They'll have a couple of dangerous moments, but I feel like they'll just be a little bit toothless in attack, not find the goal, and City will win 2-0. Now for the biggest game of the weekend, Liverpool versus Arsenal. A lot of Arsenal fans seem to think this is the right time to play Liverpool. This is the correct time to play Liverpool, where Liverpool are leaking goals in defence, and fair enough, we are. But we are also just trying to get used to some new players coming in, such as Wirtz and Ekitike. And at the moment, we're scoring goals for fun. We are really scoring goals for fun. It's only been really like a lapse of concentration and some substitutions that have cost us goals. So I feel like we're going to be absolutely fine. I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool, Ekitike double, Salah to get a goal, and I'll go with Saka to get one. Why not? There you go, 3-1 Liverpool. And the final game of the weekend is Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace. A tasty one. I feel like Gay might play that game as his last game and then sign for Liverpool, hopefully. I mean, he might be, we might go for him sooner, but I don't know why we haven't. Because he definitely should be challenging Konate, because at the moment he started really poor for the season. And he's sort of reminding me of Trent in November onwards, where he just really didn't care sort of defensively for a little bit. I think that's because he knew he was going to Madrid, and I feel like Konate is sort of doing the same. He's going to spend the last year of his contract, running it down, go to Madrid. Fair enough. But if we had Gahey, it would raise Konate's level, because he wants to be playing in a World Cup year. He has to play. Otherwise, he's going to be behind Saliba and Upamecano. So, he needs to play, really. But yeah, if we had Gahey, it would definitely push him to his highest level. But yeah, Villa and Palace. I feel like Villa need this win. So I'm going to go 2-1 Villa. I'm going to go Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins. And I'm going to go with... I'm going to go Wharton. Weirdly, I'm going to go with Wharton to score. Free kick. Why not? Screw it. Something different. Yep, that is it. Those are my predictions for the 10 Premier League games this weekend. Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll come back and we'll see how many we got right after all the fixtures have been played. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. Comment down below what your predictions are for this weekend. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Okay, goodbye guys. Goodbye.